Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
I just gotta light this thing out. Are you kidding me right now?
New body camera video showing what led up to a Downriver City Council member being arrested for drunk driving hours after winning the election, and his comments are raising some eyebrows.
Because this riffraff comes into our city. You had no business being here.
And a legal expert examines the mountain of evidence released in the case against the parents of the suspected Oxford High School shooter.
But we start with the weather, and Santa may want to have an umbrella handy when he's flying overhead in Metro Detroit overnight. Let's get right to our Paul Gross with our Christmas Eve forecast.
And we're looking at more rain as people head out, Paul.
Yeah, it's not bad right now. I mean, we'll say good evening and Merry Christmas to Ann Arbor. Now, this is our live sky cam from Ann Arbor, and I tell you what, we don't get a lot of Christmases where we say, yeah, Christmas Eve, temperature's 50 degrees. Yeah, it's 50 degrees. Monroe, Ann Arbor, Detroit. Okay, lagging a little behind Lapeer, 42, but the warm air is coming up. Don't worry, the warm air is coming up as we move through the nighttime hours. So, or again, we're not seeing any rain in the area right now, but we are watching to the west. Little showers are going to start popping up literally over us here over the next few hours. So there's a better chance to see some showers later this evening than there is right now. And then we're going to really get hit with a batch of rain during the overnight hours. But this evening, these are kind of average numbers here. We're looking at some of us already in the low 50s, some of us still in the low 40s. But the thing is, temperatures are going to be steady, and those of you still in the low 40s are going to see temperatures actually rise through the evening hours. Don't forget, the Local Forecasters app is the best weather app in the nation, and I say that because we didn't buy somebody else's app and just put our name on it. We developed it here in our building. It's free, it's fast, and you can go to the App Store, search under WDIV. It is right there, guys.
All right, thanks, Paul. Newly released body camera video captures the arrest of a Riverview City Council member right after he was elected.
Yeah, David Robbins is accused of driving drunk and crashing his car downriver, then leaving the accident. Megan Woods joins us live to take us through this video. Good evening, Megan.
Yeah, no one was hurt in that crash, but the new councilman is charged with operating while intoxicated, reckless driving, and leaving the scene of an accident. Body camera video shows officers arriving at Robbins' house after his car was found damaged.
You know where your car is right now, Dave.
Where is my car?
Yes.
Where is it?
I don't know.
This is around 3 a.m. November 4th. It's less than 24 hours after David Robbins was elected to Riverview City Council that police are asking him questions about his car.
What kind of car do you have?
I have a Fusion.
A Fusion, what color?
It's silver.
Silver?
Yeah.
Okay.
The prosecutor's office said David Robbins allegedly was intoxicated and driving at a high rate speed when he crashed into a tree in the median of 4th Street near Voigt Avenue in Riverview and left on foot. Robbins doesn't admit to that on this body camera video.
Is there any reason why there might be damage to that car?
I couldn't tell you.
You couldn't tell me?
Robbins says his car should still be parked at the bar he was drinking at nearby, Slip Mahoney's.
I was having a couple cocktails with a few friends because I thought I, won an election.
Robbins also said he walked across the street to Zorba's to get something to eat, and that's when he got into an altercation.
Why is everyone worried about the fact that I have my keys as opposed to the fact that a black guy tried to kill me?
Well, there's two different things we're trying to figure out here, okay?
Police were on scene of that altercation at Zorba's or outside of Zorba's, and that was an hour before they met Robbins in front of his home. On the body camera video, Robbins explains that he didn't want to file a complaint, but he brought it up consistently as officers were asking him about what happened to his car and was he driving under the influence. Priya?
Yeah, certainly some disturbing comments there. Okay, thank you, Megan.
And tonight, we're getting new insight into the stunning evidence released in the case against the parents of the suspected Oxford High School shooter. The Oakland County prosecutor says James and Jennifer Crumbly knew their son was a threat and still bought him a gun. A new court filing includes these drawings here of guns and ammunition and much more. Defender Sean Lay talks to an expert about this case.
One big question is, why did the Oakland County prosecutor release so much new explosive evidence all at once leading up to a bond hearing in the Crumbley case? Well, our Local 4 legal analyst explains why.
This is a big battle. Each side is throwing a lot at it. The defense is throwing a lot at the prosecution. The prosecution is throwing a lot at it.
Why did Oakland County prosecutor Karen McDonald release a mountain of evidence Thursday in a new court filing? It was in response to attorneys for James and Jennifer Crumbley wanting to get the parents of Ethan Crumbley out of jail, asking a judge to lower their bond. Local 4 legal analyst Neil Rockine tells us that's a huge decision for the judge because she set the bond. With every argument defense attorneys made explaining why the bond should be reduced, the prosecutor answered each argument with brand new, explosive information, arguing that the couple remains a flight risk found with new cell phones when they were caught and having massive financial issues and alleged substance abuse issues. The prosecutor says the parents missed the warning signs of depression, animal torture because of alleged extramarital affairs distracting them.
Essentially, what the prosecution did was they put enough on the plate for the judge to look at it and think, the defense is over here, the prosecution response is here. This is going to be the prosecutor's argument, there's just too much, is what the prosecutor's arguing, for you at this point, Judge, for you to make a decision changing the bond. This is all playing out before us, and it's going to be a lot for the judge to digest on January 7th.
Now, Neil Rockine tells us there's so much new evidence to go over at that bond hearing coming up January 7th. Many times, a judge will keep the bond in place until a preliminary hearing. This time, it's in February, where even more evidence will be presented to the judge. Sean Lay, Local 4.
Now to the latest in the coronavirus, because today is a state holiday. Michigan is not releasing any new COVID data. The next update will be Monday, December 27th. In Washington, the Biden administration announced it will lift travel restrictions it had imposed on 8 African nations to curb the Omicron variant. The travel restrictions will end December 31st, just after midnight. The CDC made the recommendation due to the effectiveness of the COVID vaccines preventing severe disease for those with Omicron. Meanwhile, the rush is on to get COVID testing ahead of Christmas, with at-home tests flying off store shelves. Testing sites all across Michigan have been busy as families want to make sure they're safe to gather for the holidays. We've posted all the sites you can get tested on our website. Click on Detroit.com. And a lot of people won't be able to spend Christmas Eve with their families. Delta and United Airlines have canceled hundreds of flights today because of the Omicron variant and staffing shortages.
And more cancellations are already planned for tomorrow. Victor Williams is live at Metro Airport, one of Delta's biggest hubs. Victor, good evening.
Yes, good evening, Grant and Priya. These cancellations really could not have happened at a worse time. The woman that you're about to see thought that she would be in an entirely different state by now, but as it turns out, that was not the case. Her plane never even took off, and she's been here ever since.
I came in this morning very early.
Tiffany Hobbs made it to the Detroit Metropolitan Airport early this morning around 8 a.m. from Huntsville, Alabama, for a connecting flight to Baltimore. But after being told her flight was going to be delayed for about 2 hours, she was later hit with more disappointing news.
They ended up telling us that our pilot was actually moved to another flight, so now our flight has been completely canceled and reestablished for tonight around 9:30 p.m.
As a result, she basically has to spend the entire day trapped in airport limbo because of COVID, just one day before Christmas.
It's been pretty hectic and pretty annoying because I have presents in my suitcase for my daughter. Not expected and definitely not enjoyable.
Silver lining, at least, is that her experience hasn't been anywhere near as much of a headache as it's been for others.
My friend and a couple other people I've talked to in our lounge, they put all of the bags into the flight that was supposed to meet them at their final destination, and they have no way of getting in touch with their bags until they finally reach their destination, which is like 24 hours almost.
Tiffany, however, has been making the most of her situation.
Airport has definitely been accommodating for all the things I needed to get, like last-minute gifts and stuff. So, yeah, and I definitely, the Chardonnay is definitely helping.
And so many are wondering if this is a trend that's going to continue, but as those numbers are released in time will only tell. Victor Williams, Local 4.
Duty-free Chardonnay. All right, thanks, Victor. The Detroit Animal Welfare Group had a Christmas present they were not expecting. They say a resident surrendered 400 parakeets crammed into 7 cages. The group said the birds were in need of serious help and several bird rescues jumped in to provide temporary housing. Now, one bird rescue took more than 100 of those birds and the baby birds that required hand feeding. The birds came from an unhealthy situation, and the group is thankful for everyone stepping forward to help.
In good health, COVID continues to surge and the Omicron variant is spreading fast. But complicating that situation is the spread of other more ordinary winter illnesses that seem to be causing more severe symptoms in some. Our Dr. Frank McGeorge has a closer look at the situation.
This time last year, we were not seeing a lot of other illnesses because most schools were still virtual and most people were working from home, wearing masks and social distancing. But those common illnesses are back with a vengeance this year.
Sore throat, postnasal drip, and just like a really nasty cough.
I'm constantly coughing and sneezing. My throat feels like it's swollen.
Definitely when you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh my God, is this COVID? Is this COVID? But you're fine.
With symptoms that feel more severe and sickness lasting a lot longer, many say this year there's nothing common about the common cold.
People are very sick, much sicker than you would expect with just a plain old cold.
Dr. Kate Atkinson is a family physician. She says since Thanksgiving, all she's been doing are sick visits.
We have several theories about that. One is that they didn't catch anything last year, so their immune systems are saying, what the heck is this? And they're having more strong reactions. And the other is just that there's so many things going around.
With children back in school and people spending more time together inside as temperatures drop, doctors expect these upper respiratory cases to increase along with the flu.
Now, if you're experiencing any cold or flu symptoms, it's important to get tested to find out if it's COVID or not. With the wide range of symptoms that people can experience, it's really impossible to know without that test. I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge, Good Health, Local 4.
All right, thanks, Doc.
And stick around because we're checking in on Santa's progress around the world.
The local forecasters have a look at where he and the reindeer are right now as he heads toward Metro Detroit. He's getting closer.
But first, let's be real. Mealtime can be hectic, but what you're doing in the kitchen could make you sick. Coming up next, Help Me Hank takes a look at food safety mistakes families could be making this year.